Hey guys, and welcome back to Zook & Company. So as promised, I'm going to be showing you some of the recipes and things that I learned as I'm not buying bread or tortillas this year. So I'm going to show you my bread recipe. I have been working on this the past couple months because technically I've been doing this challenge before the new year even started. I've been doing it probably since October. So I have this. I don't know if you can actually read this. It says Ella's Recipes. It's engraved into the leather. My husband got this for our first Christmas together. And I write some of my recipes. I don't have recipe books down here. So I have my sandwich bread recipe in here for my bread machine. Now, I find the misconceptions about using freshly milled wheat for bread in a bread machine is that most people think that you need an expensive machine. My machine is fairly inexpensive. I've been doing it for the past couple months now, and it's been working fine. I haven't noticed it sounding like it's working too hard. But the other thing is I add my bread slowly to make sure that it's well incorporated and try not to get such a dense bread. So I'm going to show you what I do, and we're going to go over this recipe together. So we are making potato bread, which is one of our favorite sandwich loaves. That's what we bought before I started making bread, so I figured why not make what we bought. So let's just go through this process with you. So first we got to grind our flour, so let's pull out that old relic. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this. Here's this whole thing. This top part, hold on, I gotta sit it down. I need two hands. This top part comes off. This is what the machine grinds it into. So I got this from my grandmother because she heard I was grinding my own wheat and I was just doing it with a hand grinder. And she's like, "Hey, I have this electric wheat grinder that I have been using. Do you want it?" I was like, "Yes." This thing is old. So it's younger than me, but old in the terms of appliances. It was from 1998. I checked the date. It's on the bottom of it, when it was manufactured. I believe this is the Whisper, Wonder Mill. Obviously, it's so old, that the lettering and the stickers came off. But it works. It's loud, but it works. So let's show you how we do this. You can see my face here for a little bit because it's a little bit of an awkward angle. So I'm just going to show you how I put this together. Which, by the way, random, but these Velcro cord ties, amazing for all your appliances, for organizing the cords. So plug it in. This here flips out, which I need to get a new filter thingy, but this is what my grandma gave me and it's been working. So there's a hole here, and that's where this is going to connect into. Just gonna shove it in there. Now that we got this set up, let's go get our wheat. Okay, so my recipe calls for 3 cups of flour. So I usually grind about 2 cups of wheat berries. I'm using a mixture of hard red and hard white. Now, you will get more flour than what you have of wheat berries. So that's why I'm only grinding about 2 cups worth. Because I'm going to get just under 3 cups. But for my recipe, if you're using freshly milled wheat, that seems to work the best. Just a little tidbit. So I kind of figured out that when it comes to breads, you need less flour than what the recipe calls for. And then with pastries, you need more flour. And then with my breads, I typically use a hard wheat, and then with my pastries, I use like a soft wheat or soft white. And that's been working out. I will get a cookie recipe out for you guys as well, so you can have that. Today we're just making bread. Fair warning, if your volume is up, turn it down because this is loud. Got my 2 cups of wheat berries. I'm going to turn this on, and for the first like 2 seconds, I'm going to hold it because it kind of jerks a little bit, but then it like stops. So, I mean, I'll show you. But again, if your volume is up, turn it down because this is loud. I just have this like cheap paintbrush. I'm just gonna kind of dust off the inside, get any like stuff off, and then I'm gonna separate this and kind of, I'll show you in a sec. I'm gonna take this apart here. Try not to make too much of a mess. And there's a little bit of flour in here, so I'm going to unplug this and then take it over to the trash can, shake it out, and then brush the little bit that's in there just to clean it up. And then I also use this to like clean off the like inside of the lid because I don't wash this every single time. Alright, so this is my bread machine. Ain't she a beaut? This is the Pioneer Woman by Hamilton Beach bread machine. This is what I've been using the past couple months. She works great, and she is fairly affordable. I did find her brand new in the box on eBay for about $50. So, and I've been making bread about once or twice a week. So, cost of groceries right now, she's been paying herself off. I'm going to wait to plug her in until I add all the stuff to this. So you need to lift this up, pull this out, and then I'm going to add all my stuff into here, and then make sure you know your paddle and stuff is in there, and we're going to show you what we do. Okay, so one of the things about bread machine recipes is you want to put the stuff in the order that like the recipe is written. I will write out the recipe in the description box below, but I'm going to show you this, you know, as I go, obviously. So my recipe calls for 3/4 cup of milk and half a cup of water. So basically, 1 1/4 cup of liquid. So I actually used some buttermilk because I made butter last evening, and then some water, and then I just warmed it up in the microwave just a little bit, and you just kind of basically want it like lukewarm. So I'm going to add this into here. Okay, and now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm just going to use olive oil. You can use your oil of choice. I've used canola oil, vegetable oil. Both of those had worked out just fine. Okay. And then I'm going to add 1½ teaspoons of salt. I'm using Redmond's real salt. And again, anything that I can link below, I will. So 1½ Now, the recipe calls for 3 cups of bread flour. I'm going to only add 2½ cups to start. And and then kind of look at my dough as it's mixing. Give it like 10 minutes, and if it still like doesn't look like the right consistency I'm looking for, then I will add the rest in. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Freshly milled wheat is more thirsty is the only word that I can think of, but I'm not sure that's exactly the word I'm looking for. But we'll go with that. It's thirsty, so it soaks up a lot more liquid. So you can very easily tend to put too much flour in, thinking that, like, it doesn't look right, and then as it continues to knead and mix, it soaks all of that up, and then you just get a very dense bread. Trust me, the first like 2 or 3 breads that I made were so dense, like they were thick. So that's why I'm just gonna add 2.5 cups to start. And again, this was 2 cups of wheat berries. And I'm not going to sift it because I want to get all the, like, you know, the wheat germ and everything, all the good nutrients in there that I can. And now I need 1/2 cup of potato flakes. I buy these in bulk with like some of the local like Amish and Mennonite stores. I know that's not always an option for some people. So if you just get like, you can try to find an option on Amazon, but like just like the like potato flake packet things that you can buy at like Walmart, those work too. I wouldn't get flavored ones, obviously. The butter one actually works great and adds a nice flavor. But just try to get as plain as possible. And yeah, again, 1/2 cup of potato flakes. Okay, I'm making a mess here. I'm just going to, you know, not be wasteful. Put that in there. And I need, where did my tablespoon go? I need a tablespoon of sugar. I'm just going to use white sugar today. I have used brown sugar. I've used honey. I've used agave nectar. All of those work just fine. Kind of your sweetener of choice, I would say. Just going to run my finger through here, make sure I get all of that out. And now I need 2 teaspoons of active dry yeast. I will link the one that I use below. This is what I use. I got this off of Amazon. The first time I tried making bread, I just used the yeast that I typically use, and that did not work because that was like, it wasn't instant yeast. Yeah, you need instant yeast. Anyway, I digress. So I'm just gonna make a little like divot of sorts in here with my spoon. And I'm going to add 2 teaspoons. So this is a 1/2 teaspoon. So I need to do this 4 times. Alright. So that's pretty much about it. I'm going to put this in the bread machine now. I can actually lift this up and show this to you. So it's just going to do that for a little bit. And we'll come back in 10 minutes and see how it looks. So this is kind of the consistency I'm going for. It's soft. It's slightly sticky. I don't know if you can see that a little bit sticks to my hands, but that's about the consistency that I'm going for. There is just like a teeny tiny bit amount of wheat left, which I'm going to be making tortillas later, so I'll just throw it in with that to use it up. I haven't figured out a freshly milled wheat tortilla recipe yet. I will get to that, but we got our bread recipe, and We'll see you in about 3 hours when it's done. So this just beeped, which means that this, ooh, that looks so good, is done. So I'm going to pull it out, put it on a cooling rack. Okay, so I'm going to flip this thing out. Here's the bread. Obviously it has a little hole in there, which doesn't affect taste. And there she is.